Has a new king been crowned in the NFL? There's trouble in paradise. Things only seem to be getting worse as time goes on in Kansas City. Two good teams that can't beat good teams went at it, and one rose above, the other not so much. All that and much more here to come on today's episode of the BallGame podcast. Welcome, everybody. I'm Tom, joined by my two co-hosts.
Oh, shit. I forget you do that. I'm the worst. It was so perfect that I fucked it up. I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
What's going on, everybody? We come to you live from Zoom because I have bronchitis and I fucked everything up for everybody. So, here we are. Appreciate you.
We want you to get better, buddy.
Yeah. Appreciate you tuning in. Drop a like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, do all that fun stuff. If you guys want to see more, if you guys want to help us out, appreciate it. Follow us on all of our socials. And with that all being said, how we doing, gentlemen? How was Christmas?
Christmas was good, man.
I won the Stanley Cup.
Chris won the Stanley Cup before Christmas.
I had no idea. Someone in the gym was talking to me about the Stanley Cup, and they were like, yo, I got a Stanley Cup for Christmas. I'm like, who wants a replica of a Stanley Cup for Christmas? That's just weird. And where do you even keep that? But like Chris showed me that, and I was like, wow, so that's what the Stanley Cup is. That's actually crazy. I did not know that.
Yeah, they're the talk of the town right now. They're popping. What was your guys' favorite gift?
Money.
Money works.
Favorite gift? Damn, I got some good stuff.
Yeah, that's where I'm at, bro.
Shit.
I got the like clip wallet, the like little clip wallet, like that thing. I forget what it's called, but it's fire. It's the small thing you can throw everything in. It's fire.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I like that.
That's good. Amanda got me a Nike Tech suit. And kind of vibing with it. Yeah. I wore it yesterday and I was like, wow, like this is what it feels like to be teched out. So like that was pretty cool.
Like Kai said, bro.
Yeah.
I got what was my favorite? I got some good ones too. Honestly, I love my Uggs. I've been wanting Uggs for so long. And I always ask for them for Christmas for the past like 2 years, but just don't end up getting them for whatever reason. This year I got them. It was great.
Let's go.
All right, so pretty busy weekend in the NFL. It was a fun one. Most anticipated game of the year kicked off on Christmas night, and I did not go how I thought it was going to go. I don't think it went the way a lot of people thought it was going to go. What a game! What a time! Brock Purdy did not look good. He had easily the worst game of his career. The final score was 33-19. Yeah, 33-19. The Baltimore Ravens smack around the 49ers. What are our takeaways from that game, man? I don't know what side you guys want to start on. Lamar, and some people are saying Lamar MVP. Did he just go in and rob that shit?
No, he went in like the Grinch and took the shit out of those fucking presents, man. Yes, Lamar's the MVP. Like I honestly, yes, we were all arguing for Purdy at certain points. Like it was pretty clear. The Purdy was statistical case, team success, all that stuff. Lamar just went in there. Oh, that's fire. Okay. So Lamar just went in there and said, okay, Merry Christmas, Brock. That MVP is now mine. Like that MVP you had on your wish list is now mine. And straight up put on one of the most impressive performances against the defense that a lot of people looked at as the best in the NFL, like historically type good potentially, and just dominated. Looked like he was just freelancing at certain points, not a care in the world, moving at half speed, throwing touchdowns. And it just, Lamar, I'm going to put it like this. Right now, Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback in the NFL. Point blank, period. The best quarterback in the NFL. And what he could do from the pocket has become so underrated, and he's improved so much in that regard that it doesn't have to just be with his arm. It could be with the legs, which are now secondary for him, which is unreal with how athletic he is. But Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback in the NFL, and when it comes down to it, that's the guy I want on my team now. So,
I mean, yeah, you pretty much said everything perfectly. The thing about Lamar is he was my preseason MVP. I cashed out on a Lamar bet actually, which was cool. There were some guys in there. Tua was in there for a little bit. Brock Purdy was in there for a little bit. Metcalf, Tyreek, Dak Prescott, but ultimately we all had Lamar as our midseason MVP. He's been the most consistent quarterback playing at an elite level on an elite team, on the most consistent team in football. So, yes, the MVP is clearly Lamar's right now. It's his to lose for the last 2 weeks of the season. He put on a show. We talk about how great this Niners defense is. He absolutely shredded them pretty much. He got a lot of help from his defense, but, Lamar did everything he had to do to win this game.
Yeah, for sure. Lamar balled out. He's definitely the MVP right now. It's, you want to argue some of the other guys. I know some people want to see a skill position player win it, but it's going to go to a quarterback. It always has, pretty much always will. The other side of things, man, 18 for 32, 255, and 4 interceptions for Mr. Irrelevant. There's some bad ones. They were 2 of them were like, there was the one tip drill. Yeah, 2 of them were tipped, but the other 2 were bad. Like, just straight up, what are you doing, Brock? And he looked rattled, to say the least. And that's not what you want to see in what pretty much everyone was calling the Super Bowl preview. That is not what you want to see from Brock Purdy, who has looked pretty calm, cool, and collected the whole year.
So I'm going to start this off by giving a whole lot of credit to that Baltimore Ravens defense because they led the league in scoring defense coming into this game. And I don't think that they got enough credit for how great they were, given that a lot of the discourse has been around Lamar Jackson and stuff like that. This defense has no weakness, pretty much. Like the same way that we look at San Francisco in terms of like there's no weakness there. We should start looking at the Baltimore Ravens defense and mean like, okay, there's an interior pass rush. The edge rushers have been getting to the quarterback. They have, honestly, the best linebacker duo in all of football and the most athletic linebacker duo in all of football. And a person that, in my opinion, should get some down ballot defensive player of the year voting in Kyle Hamilton. Because, he is the best Swiss Army knife in the entire NFL.
That pick was
slot corner. He could play inside at linebacker. You could blitz him off the edge if you really want to. Best Swiss Army knife in the NFL. And they've just continued to prove why they're the best in the NFL at this point. But on to Brock Purdy. He looked rattled. Once after a couple interceptions, after that great play by Kyle Hamilton especially, started to look a little rattled. And when everything isn't perfect for Brock, it starts to fall apart, which is why I think they're still the favorite in the NFC. That's pretty clear because, look, no other team has really shown anything to this point in the NFC for us to say they would overtake them. But Brock looked rattled, and this is just playoff football is going to get a little tougher here. So, I'm not too concerned about it. A lot went wrong in a very short amount of time, and that's kind of just where I leave it at. It
was also like a really windy game. Like, Lamar had a great game, so can't really lean on that too much. Crutch. McCaffrey had a great game still. So, if Lamar's not going to get the MVP, I think McCaffrey should get it. But
agreed.
He definitely looked rattled. Kyle Hamilton, that pick was a hell of a play, man. He's what's he, 6'4"? He just he covers so much ground so quickly. I don't know how he does it. And then Roquan Smith, just being his IQ for the game is just unreal at the linebacker position. Chris, what are you thinking?
You guys pretty much said everything. This was a test for Brock Purdy, and hate to say it, but he failed. He failed miserably. And it's not the end of the world. The Niners are still probably the best team in the NFC. I'd probably take Dallas over them still, but, they're probably the best team in the NFC. They went up against Dallas, destroyed them. Brock Purdy destroyed them. Went up against Philly, destroyed them. Brock Purdy destroyed them. So he has stepped up to the call when needed a few times already this season. But the problem is, when it's a grinded out game and when they're not dominating and they need to put up points and come back from behind, we haven't seen Brock Purdy in that scenario. We saw him in that scenario on Christmas and he failed. Listen, he played as the worst first half you could ever play, but they were down 4 at halftime.
Yes, I think it was a 4-point game.
So the game was right there, and like you guys said, some of the interceptions were unfortunate, but he was also very rattled. and the ball was getting out late. Not even just on the interceptions for the entire game. The ball was getting out late. So, I mean, and like you guys said, that's what the Ravens defense will do to you. I mean, like you said, Matt, they have pressure coming off the edge. They have pressure coming from the inside. They have these elite coverage linebackers who are going to stop the run. You have cornerback play, and then you have safety play behind Kyle Hamilton, which allows you to bring Kyle Hamilton into the box and let him just roam around and like you said, literally be a free safety. What a free safety is supposed to be, kind of just come out of nowhere, like the interception he had, the first one he had. Kind of just roam around and make a break on the ball, get some big hits. He's playing elite football right now.
Yeah.
Another thing that needs to be said is there's very few teams that can match up with the skill position players of the 49ers too, which makes them so unbeatable there. And then you get the Ravens, who have 4 or 5 corners so far this season that have played incredible football. And then you have 2 linebackers who are capable of covering George Kittle. Like, there's very few teams that have everything necessary to guard the 49ers, and this team does. They match up really well, and that's the biggest issue there. So
the thing about the Ravens that interests me a lot is they're obviously just as good as the 49ers, and it doesn't – but yet it feels like everyone's been talking about how monstrous the 49ers have been. It feels like the Ravens, even though they're the 1 seed and all, they're really not getting the credit they deserve. Maybe now more so that they actually knocked off the 49ers. But that's just how they like it. Lamar doesn't care about the MVP. He's already got one. What is it? He don't need another one. He wants a Super Bowl.
He said that in the post-game interview.
Yeah, he's already got one. He just wants a Super Bowl ring. And when you have a team that's locked in like that, get a big win like this down the stretch of the season, that's a really good thing to have going into the postseason for sure.
Are they the Super Bowl favorite clear as day now?
I think you knock off the Super Bowl, the already favorites. You got to be, right? I don't know about clear as day. I don't know how what the odds look like, but yeah, I'd probably pick them over the 49ers if they run it back.
Only reason I'd be scared to pick them over the Niners in terms of who I'd pick for the Super Bowl, even though the Ravens were my selection prior to the season, I will stick by that.
Yeah.
The AFC is incredibly difficult. Getting out of that is going to be a bloodbath.
Oh, yeah, but assuming they do, I would say I'd have to.
Yeah. But the 49ers should have a walk in the fucking park getting through the NFC now.
If this season has told us anything, yeah.
that's the thing. That's the only reason I would say, no. Because obviously the Ravens, I think, are the better team. They've proven that now.
Yeah.
But I think the 49ers are still the favorite only because it's an easy NFC.
Right. All I know is I feel bad for the Commanders. The 49ers are playing the Commanders next week, and they are gonna have that revenge game.
Yeah,
Christian McCaffrey's gonna run for 350 yards, and Purdy's gonna try and bounce back against that Swiss cheese Washington defense.
Hey man, shout out to Sam Howell. He's not gonna have to play in that one. He purposely planned this, he didn't want to play the Niners.
This is how he wanted it.
It's script is in. Yeah.
All right. So, anything else to say about this game?
Honestly,
that's pretty much it.
That's about it. Shout out to the Ravens, man. Big
Brock Purdy is out of the MVP race.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
it's done.
Big shout out to my boy Sam Darnold, man. Came in and looked all right. I'm not gonna lie.
Did you guys see the Harbaugh went up to him after the game? Was like, oh, a lot of people say you look like me, like this and that.
Yes.
I saw that, and someone commented, bro got him benched and then said, "You're my son." That's so funny, bro.
He really did. He did son him. He really did.
He literally did. Yeah, that was a masterclass by Harbaugh. Best defense in the league, the Ravens. I would love to see them win it all, man. Because, like you said, that AFC is a gauntlet. Whoever makes it out of that definitely deserves to win the championship, to win the Super Bowl.
Agreed.
All right, so we'll stay in that division. We'll bring it up briefly. AFC North. Joey Flacco, man, first team all couch. He has gotten into the Cleveland Browns uniform, and people were like, Chris was shaking his head. I thought I said something wrong.
No. It just doesn't make sense.
No, Chris is just a little heartbroken this week. Chris is a little heartbroken this week.
Yeah.
Not about this. This is just I just don't understand this.
No,
I'm
Flacco,
good, bro. I'm good.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
didn't mean to do what I had to do this week.
Flacco is the quarterback we grew up watching. Like, these are the kind of quarterbacks. This guy gets out there, launches that shit down the field, doesn't care who catches the ball, he knows someone's going to catch it. Other team, his team, doesn't matter. Amari Cooper, most likely.
Amari Cooper, most likely.
Yeah. But this dude, 3-1 under his tenure. I mean, can they really make some noise in the playoffs with Joe Flacco under center?
Chris, you go ahead and take this one first.
Bro, I mean, in this game, I don't even know if it was Joe Flacco or it was Amari Cooper. It was both. It looks like they've been playing together for 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, in games like this where wide receivers have historic days, a lot of it is the quarterback too. Obviously, the receiver has to make plays, but the quarterback, they have to be on the same page. And I mean, in this game, they were just on the same page. I don't even know how to describe it. I mean, they tried to guard Amari Cooper with everyone. Prayers for Derek Stingley. But, I mean, Amari Cooper was just winning every time, and Joe Flacco trusted him and gave him a chance every time, and that was pretty much it. That was pretty much the game. I mean, the game felt like it was over for a while. The Texans had a little bit of life in the second half, but this game felt like it was going on for 5 hours because I was going against Amari Cooper in fantasy. I mean, the game was over and he was still like catching balls, and it was just like, bro, relax, bro. Like, you have 50 fantasy points. You guys are going to win. You have 250 yards. Like, relax.
He broke his career high, broke the Browns record.
Record.
Bro, that was crazy.
11 catches on 15 targets, 265, 2 touchdowns. Only played 79% of snaps. He could have been out there more.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think about. Flacco, but the Flacco thing, you know what's crazy about Joe Flacco? I don't think I've ever seen him move this much. This guy never, like, he's not scrambling for yards, but he's like getting out of the pocket and he's just fucking slinging that thing down the field. It's really something to watch, man. I mean, 38 years old, and in his 4 games, 44 attempts, 45, 44, 42. Again, the guy is slinging the rock. And we talked about it a little bit before we got on. When you get a veteran quarterback in there, he's going to know, trust your best option, whoever it is. It's Amari Cooper. And Amari Cooper feels like he's been one of, if not the most underrated receivers in the league for quite a few seasons now. But give that man his flowers. He is an absolute dog. That toe tap catch on the sideline, that ball should have never been caught by anyone.
My God.
By anyone. That was when I texted in our group chat and I said Amari Cooper is on crack because there's just no other explanation for him being able to catch that. So, yeah, the Browns with Flacco, it's fun to watch, but is it sustainable is my question. What do we think?
So, real quick, what I actually didn't know at all is that this is Amari Cooper's highest receiving yardage season in his career now. Like, already through 15 games. I didn't know that until I looked at it on Sleeper and I was going through his seasons. He never had a 1,200-yard season, which is crazy to me. Like, he has like 5,000-yard seasons, but he's never had a 1,200-yard season. Or maybe there was one with Dallas, but this is already his highest total. He's long been one of the best receivers in the NFL. It's just he doesn't get enough credit for that. But is this sustainable? That's the question you posed to me. And they haven't played the toughest competition. Let me throw that out there. They haven't played the most ridiculous competition. We know this defense is great, especially over the last 4 weeks. In EPA, they've been top 7. So it's a great defense. We know that. I want to say yes, it is, because I love the story. Like Joe Flacco coming back off the couch and like going into the playoffs, winning a couple playoff games, potentially even making the Super Bowl with this roster. But nah, I don't think it's sustainable. I think they maybe can win one playoff game if they're the 5th seed and they take on the worst division winner. But I don't think it's fully sustainable. I think once they start playing the elite teams, it's gonna fall apart a little bit.
So Bruce Magoo says in the chat that he says this Falcons with Flacco.
Yeah, I just saw that.
That's crazy, but is this sustainable, bro? I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm gonna say yes. Is this level of play for Joe Flacco sustainable? Maybe not, but I don't think the Browns need this level of play from Joe Flacco every single game to win. I know Nick Chubb's not there, but they still have a great run blocking offensive line. They should still be able to beat you, on the ground. And
sleazy, bro.
Dang, what am
And we know about the Browns defense. Like, that defense could win you a game by itself. So I don't think Joe Flacco has to play at this level. But I know it was over a decade ago, but we've seen Joe Flacco play at this level when it matters the most.
Like crazy?
38.
38. He's like LeBron.
He is LeBron.
He's
what he's doing right now, like, to me, the only thing that matters about him being 38 is will he be able to sustain getting hit? But other than that, I mean, so what? He's 38. He's slinging the fucking rock around. Like, why would that? He just did it for 4 weeks. Why would that stop him out? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is he
still has a cannon.
Like, you know what I mean? Is he just gonna like take some crazy decline back now? Like after, like, I don't think so. Will he be this good? Will he be 300 yards good? I don't know. But does he have to be? Can he be 225 and 2 touchdowns without turning the ball over while the defense dominates?
I mean, he's still been turning the ball over quite a bit, but like,
yeah.
But
he's also been taking a ton of shots.
Yeah, exactly. He's been throwing in minimum 40 plus, 42 times.
I don't think that his play to this level is sustainable, obviously. I'm just saying they haven't played a team to this point where I like look at it and I'm like, like that's some tough competition. Like the last few weeks we've had the Jags, the Bears, and like granted the Bears over the last like 5 weeks, their defense has been first in EPA per play, crazy enough. Which out of nowhere. But outside of that, I mean, like, I'm not going to look at that and think that, like, this is, like, he's going against some elite defenses and he's tearing them apart. Like, I want to see – give me the Jets. Let me see that, and we'll go from there. Tomorrow we have the Jets. If he tears up a secondary and a defense that good, all right, you're going to be talking – I'm going to be talking different next week, But until then, I don't know. I'm a little to be decided there.
It's a shame that the Jets suck. I would have loved to see primetime Flacco versus Rodgers.
Oh, my God.
That would have really been something, man.
Blast from the past.
Yeah, as of right now, the Browns get the Jags in the first round. They could totally win that game.
Already beat them.
Yeah, they absolutely beat them. Yeah, can absolutely win that game. Yeah, if you win a playoff game.
The Jags do not look good.
The Jags look terrible.
They look horrible.
Falling off a cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could totally beat the Jags. So you win a playoff game with Joe Flacco, man. That speaks a lot to the and without Nick Chubb, like that speaks a lot to Stefanski and the crew and the rest of the roster altogether.
Oh, Stefanski should be involved in Coach of the Year talks.
Coach of the Year is always interesting to me. I feel like there's always so many guys that can win it. Like this year, I feel like there's a handful of guys that can win it.
I think it's his award to lose now.
Yeah,
I really do.
Yeah,
with what he's had to deal with this season, it's his award to lose.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, then what happens if they win a playoff game with Joe Flacco? Then what?
Anything can happen. Anything can happen. That's the thing.
They're a quarterback away. If they don't obviously go to the Super Bowl, like they're a quarterback away.
It's nuts.
It's not Watson.
I don't even know, bro. I think that they face the Ravens potentially if they're the lowest seed remaining.
Oh, immediately following? Yeah, I believe they.
Yeah, they would then face the Ravens, and it's a divisional.
Bro, you can't tell me the Browns can't beat the Ravens.
Exactly. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
They can.
I'd pick the Ravens, but like, come on, it's a divisional. It's an AFC North.
The Joe Flacco revenge game.
Come on, bro.
He knows Harbaugh. He played in Harbaugh.
Fucking nuts. That would be nuts. That would be insane.
That would be honest with you. If we get Stafford upsetting the Lions and Flacco upsetting the Ravens in the same postseason,
bro.
This might be the best NFL season in decades.
Bro. Stafford's a whole different level, by the way. Like, that motherfucker is – you could be talking about him as the best player.
Oh, my God. If Stafford upsets the Lions, that would be fucking jokes,
It's written like it's
cinema.
Destined to happen.
Cinema.
Yeah. It's destined to happen. The Lions are, they had a good week, but they're looking, but I guess we could segue into the
I was
Lions.
about to say, speaking of them,
Shout out to the Detroit Lions, man. Won their division for the first time in 30 years. 30. I haven't even been alive that long. I was -8 years old the last time the Lions won a division. That's crazy.
bro, you weren't even a thought.
I wasn't even a twinkle. Yeah. Shout out Dan Campbell and the boys. Everyone says it, but I would run through a wall for Dan Campbell. I love that guy. I think that's who a lot of people have as their coach of the year. He's really come in and just changed this franchise around. Did a complete 180. He was on the 0-16 Detroit Lions, so he was there through the worst of the worst. And now it's looking like he's there at the best of times. Beat the Vikings this week. So they smoked Denver last week, off for 5 touchdowns last week. Win the division. Are they back?
No. Back where?
Well, in terms of like
they're back in the playoffs.
Yeah, but like in the beginning of the season when they were looking really good.
No.
We don't think they can.
No.
That defense is Swiss cheese.
This defense is Swiss cheese, and Jared Goff is mid when he's not in Detroit.
True.
Or
get it
under a dome.
Yeah, I'm not moved.
I agree.
I'm not moved.
Yeah,
they've fraud written all over them. Good story, congrats, but
they do. If they get Stafford in the first round, I'm hammering Rams money line.
I'm gonna be honest with you, like this. I will say though, the little 2-headed backfield is very fun for this team.
Oh, Jahmyr Gibbs has been
like Jahmyr Gibbs. Look, I know they caught a lot of flack for that pick, and understandably so, drafting a running back that high. But man, like that dude, when he touches the football, might be the most dynamic playmaker in the entire NFL. Like, might just be the single most dynamic playmaker in the NFL. Like, David Montgomery is slowly getting, I don't want to say phased out because he's still that goal line, short yardage back. But like, man, Gibbs has taken over. It is fully the Jahmyr Gibbs show now. But yeah, now these dudes are frauds. They have fraud written all over them. You're gonna end up playing like even if it is Stafford. Like I think I would pick the Rams in that game.
Picking the Rams, 100%.
I would pick the Rams in that game because I trust Matthew Stafford with the weapons that he has. Which, by the way, Cooper Kupp and Puka.
Oh, bro, I saw something. When Puka, Kupp, Stafford, and Kyren Williams are on the field, the Rams are literally first in every offensive stat you could think of. Like everything.
Yep.
Like literally, they're the best offense. Like I know it's not that big of a sample, but they're by far and away the best offense when everyone's on the field, and everyone's pretty healthy right now.
So I have a question.
That's the thing. Go ahead.
I don't want to pose. It's not really about the Lions or anything. I saw a guy on TikTok talking about it. Who is like healthy? Of the healthy running backs right now, who is the second best running back in the NFL? Because obviously the best is Christian McCaffrey. Who's number 2?
It's Kyren.
It's a thinker.
Yo,
Kyren.
I'm going to be honest with you. I know
the
production isn't there, but like I think Bijan is honestly.
Bro, I really like the guy that I saw.
Kyren's been phenomenal. Like
Yeah.
I'm a Bijan guy, and I think Bijan, when he gets the opportunities, has been great. Every time he gets touches, he's great. So he was great this past week, even without scoring a touchdown. He was phenomenal in the receiving game. So I think Bijan's up there. Shit, man.
I'm sorry, bro. It is Kyren.
I think it's Kyren Williams. Yeah.
Like, honestly, okay.
Second best running back in the NFL.
There's one other guy I'd argue, and it's not a name that I think people are thinking of at the current moment. It's Breece Hall. Like,
I was thinking Breece Hall.
Breece Hall's really good.
Okay, like Breece Hall is
insane. Chubb's obviously there.
Chubb's number 2 when healthy, for sure.
I'm gonna be honest. I'd argue Chubb is number 1 when he's healthy. As much as I love McCaff, like
Jonathan Taylor probably is. I'd probably still take JT over Kyren. I know Kyren's producing more this year, but like, if I was starting from scratch and I needed to pick a running back and those were my 2 options, I'd take JT.
Yeah, I agree. I just think it's so funny how, like, if you would have asked the top 5 running backs even coming into this season and now look at it, like, yeah, it's McCaffrey and then You could throw Bijan in there. You could throw Gibbs in there. Kyron.
Kyron's top 10 at worst.
Yeah.
Like at bare minimum.
So the crazy thing is, like, I love how we're looking at the Lions and we're thinking, like, all right, they're capped. Their ceiling is capped. Like, we know what this team is. Like, they're frauds. And now we're starting to talk about this other team in the Rams. And I mean, we might as well stick on that track, because why not talk about the Rams? Because they're hot as hell. One of the best teams in all of football right now. And I said coming into the season, I said, when you have Sean McVay, Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford, and Aaron Donald, you're going to figure something out. Like, you're going to. And they have. I mean, it's a decent offensive line over there. Kyron Williams is literally the breakout superstar of the fucking year this year. Puka Nacua, well, I mean, you could argue his teammate is the breakout superstar of the year. And this is a defense that over the last 5 weeks is top 10 in EPA per play. Super young, just a bunch of young players.
I talked about this defense early on. I love the Rams' defensive direction. Like, I think they quietly have rebuilt this defense from the ground up. Yes. I love their linebacker play. The secondary is still a little bit shaky. Yep. If you have Aaron Donald on your defensive line, you're going to be decent at worst. You know, it's fucking Aaron Donald. He wrecks the game by himself. And like you said, the offensive pieces are clicking right now. And when you give Matt Stafford weapons, we know what he could do. Like, it's very simple.
Yeah.
The whole reason he went to LA in the first place.
Can they win a couple playoff games?
Yes. Yes.
They
if they're healthy, yes. Yes.
And then who do they get after that?
They could beat everyone, right? Bro.
I was about to say, do they threaten the Niners?
They could go to the fucking
game,
Super
bro.
Bowl.
If Joe Flacco could beat the Ravens, Stafford could beat the Niners, 100%.
I don't know if I would pick them, but right now it seems like the NFL is wide open. It seems like, you know, no one would be shocked if any of the two teams on the top of their conference lost before the Super Bowl. No one would be shocked if it wasn't Ravens, Niners in the Super Bowl. And the Rams are playing as good of football as anyone right now. And they have guys who have been there, done that. Like, yeah, the Rams could fucking win the Super Bowl. They could win the Super Bowl.
It'd be so cool if we got, like, Rams-Browns Super Bowl. Like, just no one saw that coming.
Flacco Stafford, bro.
Flacco Stafford in 2023.
The battle of we ain't washed.
Yeah.
I don't know. We've seen it all year when Stafford has at least some of his weapons, but when he has all of them, like, he's top 7 quarterback. Like you said, the defense is getting going right now. I mean, why not?
Bro, when I watch Stafford,
the only reason you could say they won't go to the Super Bowl is because they have to go on the road and because, you know, they're 8-7. But, like, when you really look at it, when they've had everyone, like, they've been one of the best teams in football.
They're not an 8-7 football team. Like how Cade Cunningham said they're not that basketball team. These boys are not an 8-7 football team. This is what
that boy Cade is doing everything he can twice. And they still can't win.
Yeah. Shout out to them boys for making history.
Not shout out to them. Fuck them.
Like, this is not an 8-7 football team. Completely healthy. This is so much better of a team than that, with arguably the best coach in the entire NFL. So,
of all the teams that could draw the Rams in the first round, it's tough that it's the Lions because they, again, I'd bet the Rams I'd take the Rams if that happens today.
I would too.
Without
100%.
doubt. You know?
100%. Even though I will say that Detroit stadium will be rocking.
Yeah.
Rocking, bro. Oh my God. I would want to be in attendance for that shit, to be honest.
That'd be awesome.
But yeah, the Rams could beat anyone. I don't think the same could be said for the Lions, unfortunately. So
all right. So that's Detroit. We'll move on to
that's Detroit.
That's
Detroit, come on, man. Let's talk about it. Come on.
We'll go there first. Okay. As I said in the intro, 2 good teams that can't beat good teams went at it this weekend. And one of them won, and the other one's a fraud. Let's talk about it. Cowboys, Dolphins. What was the final score? I should really pull this shit up.
22-20.
22-20?
Last second field goal from Jason.
Field goal from Jason Sanders, who put up 22 fantasy points for Joe Cruz. Shout out.
First of all, that's the MVP right there. Because, like, 350-plus yard field goals.
Yeah, that's actually really impressive.
And then the game winner, bro. Jason Sanders, man, they better take care of him for Christmas. That's all they better have taken care of him. But Chris, I'll let you start off since these are your guys.
Talk about your boys, baby.
I mean, dude, I said it all offseason that this Dolphins team is a Super Bowl contender. And it wasn't just about Tua, and it wasn't just about Tyreek Hill and all his speed. It was about this defense. People thought I was a joke. I was a fraud. This defense isn't good. Blah, blah, blah. Jalen Ramsey might not even play. He won't be the same. He's old and injured and washed. That's what they said. And now you look at it. I mean, you want to talk about an MVP. I look at Andrew Van Ginkel, who you want to talk about someone who came out of nowhere. Andrew Van Ginkel has just been a revelation for this Miami Dolphins defense. Obviously, since getting Jalen Ramsey back, we've been one of the top 5 defenses in the NFL. But Andrew Van Ginkel has had his fingerprints all over many, many, many games. He, was an off-the-ball linebacker prior to this year, and now in Vic Fangio's system, he's using him, to get pressure, and he's generating it. I mean, you look at him in this game, he had a 91.7 pass rush grade via PFF, and he had 9 total pressures and 2 sacks. I mean, and then opposite him, you have Bradley Chubb, who's been playing out of this world too. I can't imagine what we would be like if we had Jalen Phillips healthy, but
man,
I mean, this defense holding the Dallas Cowboys to 20 points is an accomplishment. I mean, you saw that goal line stand. Like this defense is fighting hard. Tua did everything he had to do to win this game. It wasn't the best game, but he didn't really mess up. He had a beautiful deep ball to Jalen Waddle. His deep ball has been amazing this year too.
Well, doing Jalen Waddle.
Yes, that hurts. But we needed a drive. We needed to get down in the field goal range, and Tua and Tyreek delivered, like you said. Jason Sanders, MVP, and now what are they gonna say, man? What are they gonna say?
They said they can't beat good teams.
Come on, man.
They knocked off Dallas.
We want Baltimore, and we want that MVP.
So, real quick, I just want to hop in. I was very impressed with this game by the Dolphins, no doubt about it. I also will I'll give them full credit. That defense is great. Tua didn't have his best game, but he did enough to win, and that's all that really mattered in this one, because we've seen them go for these freakish offensive performances, and this was a different type of Miami Dolphins win. So that was something that I was waiting to see. That was something that I needed to see from this team against a good team nonetheless. Like, as much as I could take away from Dallas, they are still a very good team. And the Dolphins won in a different way, and that really genuinely impressed me. As I said, get well soon, Jalen Waddle, because without him or Tyreek, things are going to be different come playoff time. And another thing I need to say, I'm actually going to jump to the other side just real quick. Dallas has become overly reliant on Dak Prescott. And I don't want to – I see O'Sleazy in the chat saying Dak gonna Dak. But, man, they miss Zeke. They miss Ezekiel Elliott because Tony Pollard ain't it. Rico Dowdle ain't it. And it's pretty much just coming down to Dak to CeeDee Lamb. And if it ain't there, how else are they winning football games? So – I don't know. That's where I'm left with that. Cowboys are frauds. Dolphins are legit, and I'm on that bandwagon now. I'm gonna be honest. So, Dolphins are for real legit. So I'm there now.
I've said all season that I will not believe in the Cowboys as contenders until they make it to the Super Bowl. They have always been frauds to me. It's just the Dallas Cowboys. I don't trust them. I don't like them. I don't trust them. They have not beat any good teams this season. Really, they beat the Eagles once. They got fraud written all over them too, man. I don't trust the Cowboys. So yeah. Anything else to say about Dallas, Miami?
I don't think the Cowboys are frauds. I think Dak Prescott showing that he was able to play at this level for the stretch of football that he did. I know it's quieted down. They've lost 2 in a row, but
I don't think he was bad in this one.
No, he's showing he could play at an MVP level, and I think when you have an MVP level talent at quarterback surrounded by all of these weapons on both sides of the ball, anything could happen. Does Dallas have flaws? Yeah, but have they shown that they could completely dominate you? Yeah, and I mean, they get a chance to get right before the playoffs on Saturday night against the Lions, which I don't want to say it's a must-win game, but it might be a must-win game for obviously Dallas already clinched, but just to feel good going into the playoffs. Obviously, they get the Commanders in Week 18. They should win that one. They might even just rest their starters if they don't have a chance at the division, but they have a chance to get right against Detroit. I still believe in this team. I think they're right up there with all the Super Bowl contenders.
With Dallas, they can dominate a game. Look at the teams they've dominated. They dominated the Giants, the Jets. I'm looking at the schedule right now. Patriots, the Rams. Okay, the Rams are a good team. Giants again, the Panthers. They've had convincing wins. They've had games where they look like, yeah, this is the best team in the league. But it's against weak competition. They did beat the Eagles by 20. Sure, but I don't know. I've just
dominated the Eagles.
Yeah.
Made people believe that the Eagles season was over.
Yeah. No, I don't. I'm not saying that, but I've seen more.
Pretty much single-handedly took the Eagles out of Super Bowl contention for a lot of people. That's a big game. We can't gloss over the fact. I know the Eagles maybe aren't the team we thought they were, but going into that matchup, people thought the Eagles were that team. And they dismantled them.
The Eagles still have beaten good teams throughout the season too.
Right, the Eagles are still a good football team.
Yes.
And the Cowboys dismantled them like that. We can't gloss over that.
I'm not glossing over it.
I agree with you. I just they don't make the schedule. Did they get down by the Niners in Week 6? Absolutely.
Everything flipped out.
Did they lose the first game to the Eagles? Yeah, they played them pretty good though, and they lost this one versus the Dolphins. They lost by 2. I don't know.
The Dolphins are
you play who's in front of you. I'm totally with that. I just think the Niners.
I just don't think we can't. Sorry to interrupt. I just don't think we could call them frauds for not beating as many good teams as other teams. The Ravens have had a gauntlet of a schedule. That's fine if you don't trust them.
Yeah, that's just me. Yeah.
The Ravens have had a gauntlet of a schedule. That's why we respect the Ravens so much. And they beat all those teams. The Cowboys have had a lighter schedule.
Yeah, it is what it is. You play who's in front of you, like you said.
I have 2 things to say real quick. Number one, I don't think Dallas are frauds, but as I said, it really does come down to the defense has to play great and Dak has to play great. And if that doesn't happen, if both of those don't happen, you're losing the football game. And
the thing is, if they get into a shootout, I kind of trust them more. If they're in a situation where Dak has to make plays and the defense has to make plays in the passing game rather than stopping the run constantly, if they're in a shootout, right? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. If their defense is in a situation where they don't have to stop the run and it's a shootout, and the offense is putting up a lot of points, then I trust them more. If they're the Niners we saw it. The Niners could run the ball down their throat if they want to. So it's obviously concerning. They're not a perfect football team, but
right.
And real quick to the Dolphins, they did not officially clinch yet, did they? I don't think they clinched. I think they
clinched the playoffs.
They clinched the playoffs.
Yeah. I'm talking the division.
They play Buffalo for the division, right?
They play Baltimore next week.
And then Buffalo.
And then
if they beat Baltimore, though, then the Buffalo game doesn't even matter.
Doesn't matter at all. Okay. Yeah, pretty much.
But we're going to beat both of them.
Sure.
If you beat Baltimore, bro.
You beat Baltimore and Buffalo going into the playoffs. And Dallas the week before that. That's really.
I'll tell you, my mind might change on who I'm taking out the AFC.
We here, bro.
So.
Yeah, no, the Dolphins are definitely here. They are. If anyone had any doubts about them, I always they're a team that I always trusted based on what I saw. But I think they're here. They're here to stay.
Yeah. Wanna low key fuck Pat Mahomes and just do TikToks because I gotta go in 17 minutes.
Yeah, we can fuck Pat Mahomes real quick.
I would love to do that.
Yeah.
So you can talk about the Chiefs anytime.
I only have one thought on that anyway, and that's that the Chiefs, as I said a couple weeks ago, are frauds. So
they're not even frauds. They're just not contenders.
I'm starting to agree with you. I still don't want to count Mahomes out though.
I don't want to either, but from what I said a couple weeks ago, I said there's no shot this team is in the Super Bowl. I don't care. I don't care if it's Pat. I don't care that it's Pat Mahomes. They're not. They will not end up in the Super Bowl.
I think he
They're
could
not
put
good
Jesus
enough.
Christ himself back there. And
They're not good enough.
Kadarius Toney's not catching passes from Jesus either. So
that defense needs to put a backpack on if they want to make the playoff. If they not make the playoffs, if they want to make the Super Bowl. So
yeah. All right. You guys have TikToks? I have one.
Yeah, I got one. All right, ready?
Cool.
Yeah.
Which NFL quarterback would you rather have based on their stats? All right. Player A has a 59.4 completion percentage, 1,307 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. Player B has a 63.6 completion percentage, 1,021 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions.
I'm going to take player A, and I know who player A is, I think.
Wait, can you run back player A's stats again?
59.4 completion percentage, 1,307 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 7 INTs.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to go with player A because 10 touchdowns and 7 picks is just better than 5 and 5. So
give me the All-Pro couch Hall of Famer, player A.
Player A is Joe Flacco over the past 4 weeks, and player B is Pat Mahomes over the last 4 weeks.
Hey, man.
That Mahomes pick was so bad.
Yo, that Jack Jones handing the
savage motherfucker right there.
Yeah, that kid, that's character development, bro. That kid really needed that.
Bro, Jack Jones is getting picked up by the fucking Raiders, too. Dog.
I have the exact same. Well, I have which quarterback would you rather have based on their stats? So should I do it or right?
Yeah.
Is that the exact same thing?
No, it's not the exact same thing.
I thought you were saying you also picked the.
No. All right. Which quarterback would you rather have based on their stats? So player A has a 64% completion percentage, 3,598 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. Player B has a 65% completion percentage, 3,636 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions.
I think I know who player A is. I think player A is – I'm just going to guess it anyway. I think it's Matthew Stafford.
No.
No? Baker Mayfield.
Oh, yeah.
There it is. Player B might be Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to go with player A. The stats are so much better.
Did you hear it, Chris, or you want me to run it back? Or do you just want to take player A because that's how these things go?
Yeah, I'm going to take player A. You have to take player A because of the touchdown to interception ratio.
Player A was Baker Mayfield. Player B was Jalen Hurts.
Oh, wow. There it is.
Jalen Hurts is a fraud.
Baker is him.
He did just break the fucking rushing touchdowns record. He did just break the rushing touchdowns record, to be fair.
Yeah, I could break the touchdown record. Yeah, when they all throw me in, you know.
Yeah, bro.
All right.
Me back there.
I got a new idea.
Push my tush,
bro. I mean, it doesn't matter. You need to squat 650 pounds because everyone else has tried it and it don't work. All right. So I have a new idea here. I'm gonna give you guys the full skill position instead of just one position, like everyone's ages, and then we'll go from there. So, guess this team based on the skill position players' ages. Okay. So at running back, 23 years old. Their wide receiver 1 is 30 years old. Wide receiver 2 is 22.
It's the Rams.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, as soon as you said their running back was 23, I was saying in my head it's the Rams.
Yeah,
all right,
the Rams.
I'm going to do another one. Fuck.
Yo, it's the Rams.
All right, next one. Here we go. Their running back is 24 years old. Their wide receiver 1 is 30 years old. Their wide receiver 2, 24. Their tight end, 24.
It's not the Rams.
Not the Rams. A young tight end.
30-year-old wide receiver one.
Yo, it's the Steelers.
Nope.
No? Fuck.
Nope.
Deontay's not that old.
Deontay's not that old.
Yeah. Shit. Everyone else made sense besides Deontay.
Wait,
I'll give you guys a couple more guesses. Then, if you need a hint, I'll give a hint.
Oh.
So 24, 30, 24, 24.
Yeah.
I
didn't think you guys would get this one. I knew you'd get the first one. I didn't think you'd get this one.
All right. Don't give us a hint yet.
I'm not.
It's not an AFC South team. None of them have a 30-year-old wide receiver.
No, it's not.
Is it the Panthers?
No.
No. It's not the Panthers.
AFC.
Okay.
That I'll say. I guarantee you're thinking the wide receiver one is younger than he actually is.
Is it the Bills?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That makes
Stephon
sense.
Diggs is 30 years old.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So.
All right. There we go.
All right.
For being a short one, that was a good one.
Yeah, that was good. I just have work.
Yeah. It is what it is.
We'll be back. Yeah, we'll be back whenever for basketball.
Yeah, bro. Our schedule.
We don't know. Yeah, we don't know when.
Soon enough. We'll do it. We're doing everything we can. We promise.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all of our socials. And with that, ball game.
Ball game.